How are colorblind people able to recognize the colors when they put on the special glasses? They have never seen those colors. Right. Others have already explained this very well. I want to point out that they are not able to recognize the colors. They can now distinguish between colors that they were unable to before. They do have to learn what they are. However, my friend got these glasses. And there was a beautiful sunset as we were driving home from an amusement park. She kept commenting on the colors and calling them by the wrong names. She also is a retro gamer. And there was a game where she said, "It's so much easier to play this now that I can see the bullets." Modern games have settings to change to help with color blindness. But it still sucks for lots of us. So much lost XP. The colorblind settings are actually used by a lot of pros/competitive gamers who are not colorbound in some games. Lets you see the map/enemies easier. To humans, all colors are merely a combination of red R, green G, and blue B. We have cells in our eyes, called cones, that compare intensities of RGB. Why RGB? The colors R, G, and B are spaced distinctly far apart on the color spectrum. And the more distinct and farther apart the cones are on the color spectrum, the wider range of colors we can see, and the more precisely we can tell them apart. These glasses only work for a specific kind of color blindness where the green cones mutate to become more sensitive to the neighborhood of red, orange and yellow light, and less sensitive to green. So now when red light comes in, the brain still gets a signal from the green cone, which is wrong. Also, when green light comes in, the green cones, which the brain usually expects to turn on, don't. This overlap of sensitivity between mutated green cones and red makes it hard to tell colors between red and green apart. These glasses help by blocking wavelengths of light between red and green, thus exaggerating the difference such that the mutated green cones can function a bit more like normal green cones. With this comparison ability somewhat restored, the colorblind can better discriminate in that otherwise problematic area of red through green. And the color my N-chroma glasses block is very near to the yellow light on traffic signals. From someone who has protonomalous color blindness, your assumption is correct. We've never seen the colors before and can't reasonably talk about what they are. When I put my N-chroma glasses on, I'm seeing literally a different world than I normally do. It's the reason that you see a lot of emotional videos where people start crying. It's overwhelming to see the real world that we miss out on every day. How vivid and beautiful it is. Having protonomally means I've never seen the color purple with my own rods and cones in the natural world. My eyes cannot physically process that wavelength. The glasses bend the light coming in to give my brain an imitated sense of seeing purple, and the proper shades of loads of other colors as well. It really is a thing of beauty. Purple, or as Discworldians call it, septarine. In addition to what's been said, most of those reveal videos are fake. The glasses kit itself will tell you about the importance of conditioning your eyes by wearing the glasses casually for a few hours a day. For a few weeks. I've known half a dozen people that tried them, they only worked for 2 of them. And neither of those people had a put it on and start crying moment. I am colorblind and my girlfriend bought me those glasses. They make everything seem more red and that's it. They're really good sunglasses though. The best I've ever had in fact. But they don't change anything about my color perception. If you just put the colors on paper and ask them to put on the glasses in a white room and list what those colors are, such person couldn't really tell the colors for sure. It's more of a, I know the grass is green. I'm looking at the grass. This must be what green really looks like. That feels kinda like all humans though. Yeah. Nothing is innately blue. We have to be taught blue and then grow to grasp what blue is over time. It is how everyone is and why people often don't find out they're colorblind in some way until school or even adulthood. Even if you already have color associations. If how they look change, the best you can do is guess based on the associations you know. First, colorblindness is not just seeing everything in black and white. What is color? Our eyes have color sensors. Most people have 3 different colors sensor: red, green, blue. When we look at a color, all 3 sensors are stimulated depending on the color. So, for example, we can see a lot of green, a bit blue but no red at all. And then our brain interprets that as a unique single color. What is colorblindness? There are dozens of different types of colorblindness. The most usual are when one sensor overlaps the other. That is, one green-bluish and another blue-greenish. So the sensors are kind of redundant because they will always detect almost the same thing. How colorblind glasses work: they filter out that overlapping intersection. So those 2 almost identical sensors will start to actually detect different colors. Seeing colors is a bit complicated. An object isn't red or green or blue. It's made of material that reflects and absorbs different wavelengths, between about 380 to 650 nanometers. Now our eyes see those wavelengths by basically catching them in 3 different buckets: red, green, and blue. Now the only thing is the buckets aren't side by side. It isn't that all the light at 499 nanometers falls into the blue bucket and all the light at 500 nanometers falls into the green bucket. They overlap a bit, so droplets in between fall a little into both. That's how we can feel a teal that is somewhere between green and blue. The problem is, for color-blind people, their buckets are a little screwed up, and they overlap way too much to the point where it's hard to differentiate between the 2. What the glasses do is they actually block the wavelengths where the overlap is the strongest, so you get only the light that is coming at the edges of the 2 buckets. It's not perfect, but it helps tell things apart. My fiancé's family bought me the outdoor glasses. It was our first Christmas together, and I bawled my eyes out in front of her family and our kids. I put them on outside, and it took about 15 minutes for my eyes to not see everything as one shade of light red. After this, I had to ask her what the colors were of several things, including cars, walls of buildings, and natural things. Everything was so much more vibrant, and I got chills looking at her eyes in the sunlight. The colors I already knew were so beautiful and bright. New colors, like seeing red correctly for the first time, was life-changing. Pretty sure a lot of those videos where the person sees color for the first time and starts crying were pure marketing. My GF bought those glasses for her brother. There was no aha moment. In fact, the instructions say basically to keep trying them for a while, and they should start working over time. They were over $300, and they got returned. GF's father got a pair of them. Did start tearing up within about a minute. They had a better effect later in the year though. He received them, put them on, and went to look outside. But it was January and there was snow on the ground everywhere. This man is red-green colorblind, but had trained himself to recognize colors pretty well as he worked as a printer for many years. Apparently in all that time, he never had an incident where he printed something the wrong color. Yeah, Photoshop helps a lot with that. You can just check what color something is. With me, since my color blindness isn't as pronounced, I can make my brain see the correct color. Like I'll see a color and it seems orange. Then I'll look at it again and it seems green. I know I'm having an issue registering it. So I'll pop into Photoshop and check the actual color, or just ask someone. But that always turns into a conversation about whether it's lime green is actually yellow or whether teal is blue or green. So when I know what color it is, my brain just automatically sees it as the correct color. And yes, it's your brain that sees, not your eyes. And yes, you can make it see different colors. That's why the dress photo got so famous. On nice sunny days I can see how red tomatoes are, and how green grass is, and I feel a special kind of appreciation for the world on those days. They also sometimes think the colors aren't real. My brother wore his glasses out to a public gathering in the woods, with a building for cookouts. He took off his glasses halfway through because he was convinced they weren't working. He thought that the tacky off pink building was white, and that the glasses made him think it was pink. Blew his colorblind mind when we all told him it was pink, and he realized we weren't FING with him. I'm moderate to strong protonomally colorblind. Reds appear much darker to me. Purple always looks dark blue and light green often appears yellow. If I have a very large sample I can sometimes distinguish the colors, but there is no chance if it is small, like a speck of blood looks black. Or the little LED lights that flash yellow/green/red to indicate functions on electronics. I tend to fail colorblind tests miserably. I tried the glasses, and with the glasses I was able to achieve a perfect score. However, it wasn't like in the YouTube videos at all. Maybe if they allowed me to look around a bit more I would have had a more interesting effect. As it was, I passed the test. Took a look around the boutique and just thought, yeah, they're sunglasses. Nothing is in true color, but it somehow helped me pass the test. I was underwhelmed and didn't consider purchasing them. Maybe I'll give it another try someday. But to answer OP's question, I know what I can't see. I know purple is red and blue, and I can see it in certain situations if the lighting is right and the sample is large enough. It's the contrast with other colors that is missing mainly. Colorblind here. Sounds like most people have explained it pretty well. I just wanted to add about my experience with the Enchroma glasses. A local art museum was running a promotion with Enchroma, where you got to borrow a free pair of glasses as you tour the museum. The only problem? The whole museum was dedicated to an exhibit by a black and white photographer, ha ha ha. We ended up just going to the roof and having a beer, while I looked over the city and looked at people's clothes. When you say recognize, do you mean like how they know which one is green and which one is red? I'm partially colorblind myself, red-green deficiencies, and I can recognize the basic green and red even without the glasses. However, I am guessing, never tried it, that with those glasses, I can see a wider spectrum of green and red compared to what I could before. It depends on the case, since there are many different kinds of colorblindness. Colorblind guy here. We kinda do recognize them. And kinda don't. I got a trial pair of the glasses it seems everyone has tried. And while they work for some colors, they don't work for others, my specific case. The ones they work with I've learned what those colors are supposed to be. For example, street signs in my neighborhood are green. To me, they're a very muted greenish/brown color. But with the glasses the green pops. Traffic lights to me are red, yellow and white, but learned, green. With the glasses, red, yellow, and I can see where someone might say that's green. Colorblindness is really hard to explain. You see, the glasses makes his eyes see those colors because they turn the colors that person sees into those colors. I think non-colorblind people think that being colorblind means you see the world in black and white. Although that may be true for some people, it's not generally the case. I'm red/green colorblind, and I tell people I can see primary colors. It's the shades of colors in between that I can't distinguish. I feel like I can see them, just can't distinguish between them. And remember, some of this isn't as scientific as we are told, because even non-colorblind people argue about the color things are. Red and green cones in your eyes overlap, they both respond to a lot of the same wavelengths. For people with certain types of colorblindness, protonomaly and deuteranomaly, that means a lot of those colors from green to red show up as something closer to brown or yellow. The glasses are just a fancy notch filter that blocks some of the light where both red and green cones both react, creating more space between red and green. I mean, the simplest answer is sure, they have never seen what the non-colorblind I see, sure, but they know an apple is red, so when they put on the correcting glasses they will still know an apple is red, they will just gain the knowledge of what red looks like to everyone else. I watched an episode of Dr. Pol where his son bought him a set of glasses for his color blindness. He was looking at purple and called it a darker red. And his wife, Diane, was like, great, that's purple. So it's pretty much just learning as you go. From what I understand. Kind of like how we might see a swatch of a color we've never seen before. And don't know what to call it until we identify it. The way I explain it. And I've had a lot of experience over the years, everyone's favorite question when they learn, what color is my shirt? Is that my eyes can't see red/green and their derivatives, purple especially. But my brain sort of knows what the colors should be. Now, did I know from birth or from learning? I don't know. But I do know that when I popped on those glasses for the first time in a botanical garden, seriously. Pick your first location wisely, it was amazing. Purple flowers were a revelation. Red leaves on trees, not autumn, were surprising. The greens in grass was so textured. Street signs had colors, greens and browns and reds. It was is a beautiful experience. Colorblind glasses do not actually make people stop being colorblind. People are colorblind because they are missing some types of sensors, and you cannot get these back. Instead, the colored lenses in the glasses change which colors you are colorblind of. So the colors will change, and it will make it easier to see the difference between a lot of colors. Especially if you have different color filters over each eye.